I think that the best, I never really introduce my videos anyways, I just kind of like start talking. But like, I know today's topic is like more for me and like hopefully a little bit for like your own benefit, but it's more for me. So I don't want to talk about something and it be a bad topic for you. So I'm just going to talk about death today. And I'm not going to call it passing away. Like, I call it death. People died. So I thought about that. I was brushing my teeth, knowing that I needed to like make this video. Videos help me so much understand my life and make sense of it and just like have like introspective moments about it. And like, as you saw the last video that I made, I'd gone so long like not doing that. My mind is like a really way more organized and way more like understanding of like complicated issues when I lay it out for myself in these videos, and they're just really helpful. And I had all the intentions in the world of you know, making another Friday video last week, but 5 days after I made that video, and I put it up like late, I put it up late. It sat on it for maybe like I don't know, a good 3-4 days before I put it up. And then my sister died. And I decided to keep like put it up like that. Like, she died on like a Wednesday, or at least my family found her on a Wednesday. Still don't know when she died. That's unclear. I think that's one of the hard parts about this. So like, there's many hard parts about this, obviously, but that's one of them. We found out she was dead on Wednesday, and I'd already filmed it, I think the Friday before or something. So I'd sat on it, and then I decided to put it up that Friday. But then I couldn't make another video. Cause like, logistically speaking, when someone dies unexpectedly in like a complicated, kind of horrible way, it's such a mess. And it's so painful in so many ways when like your family is broken. And it's painful and complicated when your family is not broken. So I don't want to take away from that and be like, ooh, I'm more broken than you because my family's like this. That's not what I'm saying. But it is like, it's literally hard. It's so fucking hard. And I'm making this video for me to like talk about some things because I want to. And I want to talk about like the duality of finding this horrific, and also like in finding this like psychologically interesting for me, because like, I've had people die in my life. My grandparents have died. I've known people that died that were relatively close to me, but like never like this. My sister was estranged with me, and the last time I talked with her was like 4 years ago. And like, we were so close before. Part of the reason why I couldn't talk with her anymore was part of the reason that contributed to her death. So it was especially hard because it was so final. And it was like, the way that this is like happened, I'm going to talk about what happens for me. I'm not going to try to air out people's things or like, you know, whatever. I'm not going to talk about anything that has to do with complexity of the matter, but I am going to talk about how I have been dealing with it, because I don't know, I think it's good to remember. And I think moving forward on my channel, if you understand, you know, this part about me, because I've given you a lot of context, because I've just talked about a lot of interesting, complex things. And this was something that I like obviously never thought that I would like talk about. Like, you can plan content and you can be like, oh, I'm going to talk about this because it was something that was interesting to happen. Like, you never foresee this kind of thing happening. People know that people die, but like, you never foresee like your 42-year-old sister dying suddenly, like alone by herself, in all the ways that you can be by yourself. So I talked a lot about the stuff that it was like building, right? In like my last video, like this great crescendo of something that I couldn't ignore, I couldn't fix, I couldn't ignore, but like I had to move on. And like I had to move on in a way that was like relatively healthy, despite what was happening to me. And I feel like the systems that I'd set up previously, like prior Michelle, was like really good to current Michelle, because like it's been hard, and I'm gonna talk about certain things. It's been hard because I just want to. I'm the type of person that enjoys intensity, like you can tell that. I like to feel alive, and I like to feel like I'm trying to live a life where I make choices that allow myself to feel the most alive. I acknowledge when I feel like that's not in alignment, and then I try my best to like have a process where I can sit with myself and like really evaluate, is this where I feel alive? Is this going to lead to me to regrets? Is this going to, sorry, I'm killing bugs, little stupid flies, still haven't gone away. Is this going to be beneficial for my short term? Is this going to be beneficial for my long term? And I really try to evaluate those things. And so like I do sit a little bit too long, like most people, in stuff that like you can't really that are complicated, that you can't really change. But I do try to like make like a little plan with myself, acknowledge to myself that if I ask the basic question of, does this make me feel alive, or in alignment with what I want to do with my life, then that usually sparks some sort of like exit plan from whatever's keeping me stuck. I do stay stuck. I stay stuck too long, just like most people, but like I have the desire to like get out of it, and that's part of like what this video is. It's like I don't use coping mechanisms to just be okay with the stuck. So like this is me like knowing that this is a hard video for other people to watch, but this is me being like, I need to make this because it feels like this is what I need to do, because it's like always been therapeutic but also kind of scary. Like I don't want you guys to say like mean shit to me today, like obviously, but some interesting things, like I said, psychologically have been happening. And if it's like, if I make this video to like understand my own grief and to understand the like the complicatedness of my own situation, it helps me to know that maybe somebody else can understand that grief isn't, well, at least from my perspective on this, grief doesn't really follow certain things. And I've tried to show that like love doesn't always look the same to me as it does to other people. Passion doesn't look the same to me. Casual relationships doesn't look the same to me. Friendships can be adaptable. So like, why can't grief be? It's just like this thing that like people don't like to talk about. People don't like to talk about a lot of the stuff that I'd like to talk about. But sorry, this is my channel. I get to do, this is the one place where I don't have to worry about what you like to hear or not. So I'm so thankful that like I do have the system set up in place. I do have friends. I do have support. But I just feel really bad because, you know, like I feel like one of the contributing factors was that there was a lack of that in this situation for other people. So I guess I wanted to be aware of that for yourself and be aware of that for like your loved ones. Not like you have to change anything, but it's like just be aware of that. Like the perfect storm created this. I was part of the perfect storm, but I adapted in a different way. I don't even think that my way is great. It's just the outcome so far has been different. And I don't know. I just have a lot of sadness that I wish that some of the support that I have, that I built, that I'm lucky to have, I wish that could have helped her. I guess I'll get into it. So, they didn't hear from my sister in a couple of days. I mean, I hadn't heard from her personally in like 4 years, but like moving back here, like put me in the same vicinity, and like by default I knew whether or not she was kind of like doing okay or not. So like there'd been problems a little bit before this happened, and I had massive stress about it because like I could see the writing on the wall. It's not looking good. And we hadn't heard from her, and so my dad went over to go talk with her, and my dad texted me when I was here waiting to see, you know, how things were. My dad was gonna go around and do his like errands, but first he wanted to stop by and see, and she was dead. No idea how long she'd been dead. And I had to initiate help for my dad. Like in that moment, you have no idea what to do except for understand the situation. And I've always been really good at emergency things. like, and I've not usually been scared. I have no idea why. It's not like I'm insanely brave. This started when I was like I was working at this mental health facility with like seriously mentally ill people, and like fights would break out, and like it would be really serious because these people could like seriously harm you because it comes out of nowhere sometimes. And yeah, you could just be talking to somebody in like a room, and then all of a sudden they like, you know, have like an episode or something, and stuff can just happen. So anyways, so I was trained to deal with a situation that was like threatening. I'm not like, I don't go seek that, and like I'm not like a big tough person. I'm like a gentle kind of person that's intense, but like when it comes time to like standing up and like doing things that I know are right, or like doing things for the betterment of other people, I like take that role, and I'm like, okay, I can do this. Momentarily I can be like the strongest person, and momentarily I can fix this situation for people, when I know that like maybe other people freeze. So I called somebody for my dad to start the help, because I live in a rural place that sucks. It so sucks that it's winter time. I mean, this place sucks always. This is not new, but double sucks when like something like this happens, when like you just want to be there. Like I've always stepped up. So like I got help that was taken care of, and I didn't freak out. Didn't freak out. So I was actually dyeing my hair. I was bleaching my roots, because my roots are kind of bad, you can see. I was bleaching my roots, and I was standing in my bathroom here, and I was bleaching my roots, and I had like, I don't know, maybe 10-15 foils in for like 20 minutes, and I was like, oh my god, fuck, like, can I have to like wash this out? Like, but I have the dilemma of like needing to leave like right now, and like doing this for myself so my hair doesn't fall out, right? It's like, ugh. Okay, get in the shower, wash your hair twice so that like the bleach doesn't stay there. So like washing my hair, calling for help, and because I live in rural nowhere, 911 doesn't work, didn't connect to anything, which is like really scary. So I have to like have enough brains in my head to like, you know, as like the water's like washing it out, like Google like the, you know, the proper place to call. And so I'm doing that, and then like once that gets taken care of, I call my dad back and I tell him like, look, you're going to have help on the way. I'll be there. Don't worry. We'll be there. So then I get out of the shower. My brother calls me. And then we make a plan to like all go there. Mind you, I haven't gone to my sister's house since the day that like she kicked me out of her house. So that's, you know, a thing in itself. But the love for my family, and like trying to like make this less shitty, it's like, okay, like I'm not like Mother Bear or something, but I'm just like in warrior mode, and I'm just like, okay, just do this, arrange this, just get through this. So that's like my vibe going in. And so like I call Renee, because I know, like logically, I know that this day is going to be really hard. And I know that I never reach out to people. Like I've talked about that. I never want to bother people, but also like I don't tend to like need, just because of the way that I am and everything. So I don't tend to like reach out. I let people come to me when they want to like talk with me, and I'm more than happy to talk with them. So it's very rare that I will like out of nowhere I will just call. And luckily Renee picked up, and I needed someone that I could trust, that like was going to know what I needed, right? Like know I need to just be talked to on my way there, and like honestly just like say everything that I needed to say before I got to that situation, right? So like it took like 40 minutes to get there, and like my call dropped like 5 times because I live in, like I said, rural nowhere, so no cell service. It's like when you need somebody and like you want to connect, literally connect with the phones, but connect human to human. It's like, why do I live here? Another story altogether, but contributing factor to like the immenseness of the moment, right? So I think I was just like, I wasn't good, right? Like I'd like tried to like punch this like the stairs like while going upstairs. Like I don't punch things, you know, like I'm not like a mad person or whatever, but like I remember doing that. And I didn't punch it so hard I like, you know, hurt my hand or like anything, but like I just remember being like, you need to get it together. But it was interesting once I got there. I couldn't go into the house, right? Like, number one, I'm not like, wasn't previously welcome. And number two, like inside is something that I just can't handle. And so like the best I could do was like arrange the beginning and like arrange the help, and then like I needed to help myself. Like I'm so aware that like I know from experience that people mean well, but like the trauma that I go through or the situations that I go through, I'm going to have to sit with for the rest of my life. So like I know as I pull up, I'm pulling behind the medical examiner, and there's police, and then there's my dad, and then there's my brother, and like I just know there's enough people in this mix right now where like I'm doing like this weird like calculation in my head really quick. I know that the trauma of like participating in something where like I don't feel authentic, meaning I am very like honest with like, I don't feel very nice right now, you know? I'm very like, I tell you why. And I'm not like stoic. I'm not like hiding behind, you know, a mask of like it's okay. Like I'm very much like, right now sucks. Right now is really hard. Right now is so insanely unfair. And like it would kill me to have to pretend. But like I can't take that away from other people who have different coping mechanisms and different like ways of like being, right? Like, so I do the calculation. I got help. I did what I was supposed to. Now, right now is going to be the time where like it lasts forever. I'm going to remember this forever. And so I sat in the car. And it was like, the choice of like, I picked like, how do I want to move forward with this? because it's a very individual thing, except for it's also like a very like family thing, right? It's like this is very it's like when your family is like the most like community or communal, or everybody just understands that it's supposed to be a unit thing at this point. So I said goodbye to Renee, and I just said that I have to go deal with this now. And I just sat in the car like I said. So I got out, and the best I could do was like get into the driveway, and I just watched people do stuff. And then I was cold because it's March and it's New England, it's cold, and my hair was still wet. I didn't dry it. I just like left the house. So I knew that I wasn't trying to say anything that would hurt other people, but I also wasn't trying to compromise like what I needed for myself. Like I needed truth and honesty and authenticity, and to like just process feelings, or just like not, or you know, whatever. And so like I needed to protect myself, and I knew that nobody else was going to do that better than me at that point, because like I just know what I need. So I just told everybody that I was gonna go sit in the car, and like I knew that other things were being handled by the professionals that were there. They were taking care of the situation, but also like I have a lifetime to like deal with this. So I'm just gonna sit here and process what like I want, allow the stimulus to come in as I choose. And so I chose to like sit in the passenger seat of my brother's car and just like watch or not watch. Like I sat so still that day. First, I don't even know why, but like all of a sudden I realized that I couldn't move if I wanted to. So later, looking at like my Aura ring, I sat so still for so long. I sat there for 5 hours in the car watching the situation unfold, and I sat so still that my ring thought that I was sleeping, like a deep sleep. That's when like your body is like, you're so calm, and like your body is in like rest mode, and like it literally thought that I was like restoring itself. There's like restorative, there's relaxed, there's engaged, then there's like stressed. Like for example, when I go to the gym and like work my heart, that's like in activity mode, like stressed mode. So like during this time, this insane time, I just sit quietly and try not to move and just watch what I feel like watching, but also just watch. And I try not to listen, because like I don't want to like have anger towards something if I misinterpret something. I just try to like pick up what I can and what I want to, and just sit there and think about what happened, what is happening, how did this happen, why did this happen, that kind of thing. So I just sat there, and then all of a sudden I realized that I couldn't move if I chose to. Like I was just so stiff, like a frozen person. I just sat there very like still. I made sure to do certain things for myself, and it's really sad what I have to tell you, but like I made sure of it, because I like told myself, if you don't watch your sister come out, you might not believe of the house. You might not believe this happened. And as hard as that's going to be, it might be better for you to like acknowledge that this is real. Because as I told you, I'm not really about pretending, but like something weird was going on with my body that like had never happened before. Like I was frozen, like my mind wasn't frozen yet, but like I was frozen. And so like I remember like gearing myself up to like, I know that they're working in the house right now, and I know that this is something that's gonna happen. So I decided, you will watch, and like you don't have to do anything else with it, just watch. So when they finally opened the door, I knew it was going to happen, and I did watch. And then they took her away. Then I said some things to her, like in my mind's eye. And then I sat there and sat there. I got hungry actually. So like my brother took me to the gas station. He bought me some mozzarella sticks because like I wasn't in my car and I didn't have my wallet. And he took me and he got me a little snack. And we sat together. I think like after like she left and everything was kind of logistically like wrapped up for as best as it could be that day, it was like time to like, you know, go somewhere like more cozy for everybody. But like I just wanted to sit there, obviously not go in, but I wanted to just sit there. So I did. I had like people suggest, you know, what to do for me or whatever, but like I knew what to do for me and I wanted to just sit there. I wanted it done how I wanted it done, not how other people needed things. Other people could take care of themselves, but like I wanted to take care of myself the way that I wanted to. So like I was very like, I need to make choices for myself. Like since I sat in the car, I like knew I need to make choices for myself moving forward. How I want to deal with this. It was like, it wasn't like passive whatsoever. Everything went against like what you're supposed to do. Like I didn't do any of the things that you're supposed to do when it comes to like social stuff. I didn't comfort anybody. I didn't, you know, I didn't help with anything. I just sat there. And it's not because I couldn't, it's because I chose not to. And it wasn't out of hatred or anything. It was, I feel like it was out of love, like love for honoring like what I felt was, I guess, more healthy. I don't know. I don't know why that mattered, but it mattered so much to me. So I sat there eating my cheese sticks, and then like my brother needed to like leave to like check on my dad, and it was like suggested that like I don't drive and blah blah blah, but like I know myself, like, so I said no, and like I was just going to drive myself when I was ready to leave, and they let me do that. And so that was that day. So like that day was really hard, but like other days have been so hard since then, and for like such complex reasons. My family is not typical. So it's just been insanely difficult to navigate the logistics of like handling this separately from like, it's sad that I don't have my only sister, who was like 2 years older than me, and she died like a week before her birthday. Fucking sad. The way that people handle this, the way that I handle this, the complexity of it, it's like, if I didn't have the things that I have, it would be really hard. Like, there's a reason why, like, after like someone close to you dies, that people like help you with certain things. Let them help you. One of the things that like really helped for me is like, I know what I need help with, and so like I don't let people just like decide how to help me. Like, I kind of tell them, and and like I know not to like put like too much, or I hope I do, like put too much on one person. And so like I need help with certain things, like getting my sister's cat a good place to live, a good, respectful, loving place to live, because like it was one of the only things that like she really cared about, like her cats. So I worked hard with one of my friends that's really great about that, and she helped me. Going into the house was like a huge stress for me, but like I knew that I had to be like warrior energy to like go get this cat. It's like, it's not about me right now, just go do it in the fastest way that you can to like go make this cat have a better life. It would have been important for your sister to have that happen, no matter what happened between me and her. Like, I wanted to like honor her stuff and like honor the things that she cared about. And so like going into her house was like really hard. It was hard because it was like a time capsule of like the last time that I'd been there, but also it was like visually you could see like how the downfall happened, and then like passing the room where I know that she died, and then like being in her space. Really hard. So like I needed help with the cat. My friends helped me with the cat. I did certain things myself, but I also let them help me. So it was like a mix. It wasn't like they just handled it. It's like I had to do certain things, but also like I delegated a little bit to like have them help me. I feel like people do want to help you, and I feel like it's easier for people if you give them specific tasks. So the night that like I got the cat, like because it's been like kind of like living there, my dad was feeding it and stuff, but like living there by itself, which is really fucking sad. So it wasn't from our lack of trying that we were trying to get this going sooner, like after it first happened, but it was like the more that like the cat wasn't placed well in like a happy home, the more like I just got stressed about it, because like I just felt guilty, you know, like just do more for this cat, just do more. So anyways, finally it came time where we could actually help the cat and place it in a place that, you know, was going to be good. So that was like a huge stress off me, but like a variety of my friends were like great, like literally great. I had different ones to talk to. I had ones that helped me try to find my mom. I had ones that helped me, like they sent me food. I actually ate some of the food that she sent me this morning for breakfast. It wasn't like a breakfast thing, but I ate the thing that she sent. It's just like really nice to like not have to worry about certain like basic stuff so that you can get on with like either logistics or grief or life or whatever, you know? So like each one did something different for me. And while I have super complex things that like make this very hard, I also have like a bunch of people that are just great, and they've been like my saving grace basically, but also like I think I've been like my own saving grace. And I think the systems that my dad has allowed me to have set up has been my saving grace, like is like financial support and everything. Like everything that I had before has helped me. Like I talk about the frozen thing because like the night that I came back after like I left the driveway, after I'd sat in the car for like 5 hours, I could drive fine, there was nothing wrong. But like once I was like stopped, it was hard to start again. I was like going to pour myself some water in like the Brita pitcher, and I was filling it up in the sink. My left hand was on the like the Brita handle, and like my other one was on the faucet to turn it off. And like I realized that like I couldn't detach my left hand from like the Brita, and like I couldn't move from like the place that I was at the end of like the kitchen island. I wanted to go to bed. I wanted to like just be cozy in like a space that was like just void of anybody and anything, and just kind of like be. But like I literally just couldn't move. And it was very much like sitting in the parking lot in my brother's car watching. It was like I just couldn't move, and I was like just frozen. And that was really strange because that like never happened to me. And I really didn't understand that I was frozen in the car until like the Brita frozen thing happened. And like I just remember being like, I need help with this. So I asked my dad to like remove it from my hand to like get it going, you know, like I can't just like stand here and like comatose for like, you know, hours. I need to like do something about this, because I don't want to stand here. It wasn't like a choice. So I think that's when he like understood that something different for me was happening for him, because he wasn't frozen. So that was highly strange, but I talk about that because that only lasted that day that my body was frozen. So I like cried for like 2 days, and then I stopped crying until like today. This is the most I've cried in a really long time. And this is kind of like also why like I like to make videos, not so I can cry in front of you, but because I can feel something. So like 2 or 3 days later, I could feel like my mind become frozen, and not like in a foggy way, in like an impenetrable way. In like, I could look at pictures of her and like not be sad, which is insane, because like that's not a lot of time, but that's just how my body and my mind were working. And I found it completely normal. It was not a choice I was making, but it was just like, okay, like protective mode, or just like, this is what we can handle mode. You cried for 2 days because everything hurt, and now we're like, you know, you need to like not move forward, but you need to like do something a little bit different here. So that's what my body decided to do. So it just stopped being sad. Like nothing made me sad. I'm a very like matter-of-fact person in general anyways. I'm like kind of like a little bit of bullshit but not a lot of bullshit. And like intense, so like you can see where this is going. So like for somebody who like feels things and like to like not feel sad over this is just like kind of weird. That's where I was at 3 or 4 days in. My mind froze. And I tell you that because the other day I went to the gym. I'd gone to the gym like 3 or 4 times since this happened, like 2 weeks ago. And last night when I went to the gym was the first night that like I could feel like I was starting to unfreeze. I was working my body so hard. Like I put like a really difficult level on like the elliptical, and I just, you know, wanted to like kind of like kill my body a little bit so I could go to sleep and like sleep well, sleep rested. And which is like another thing, like everybody's needs and like what happens, like I've had my appetite the entire time. I could sleep usually. I mean, I have trouble sleeping sometimes because like I can't stop thinking that my sister is dead. You know, I wake up thinking that, but like that's not like, you know, what I think about all day. It's just like reminding myself that that's a reality. So like I go to bed thinking that, and then like I wake up thinking that. The first night it kept me up like a lot, but like, you know, that's what like grief looks like, I guess, for me. Like this situation, it's so different than how like you think about things. Because like the reason I tell you that is because like I've gotten like texts that were like, you know, don't forget to eat, or like that's not even my problem. You know, or like don't forget to have fun, or like, you know, like try, you know, your best for yourself. And it's like, I think I make this video to like kind of show you like what it was like, but also to just describe like certain things are super helpful and certain things I found not to be helpful. And like I was very good at taking care of myself before. Like my systems were set up to take care of my body, take care of my mind, to take care of things. And I think like where you are when shitty things happen is like an indicator of like your systems, right? Of like how good they were, or how strong, or like how hard you are at working them. And like I'm not the best at them, but like one of the things was, you know, basic needs was never my thing. Like I still wash my hair, and I still try to like, you know, make my bed and like do certain things. So like that's not an indicator of like whether or not I'm doing well. I still do those things, but that doesn't mean that I'm doing well. But that's like traditionally, I think, how people understand grief. It's like you don't eat, you can't sleep. It's like being lovesick, but like sad sick. So it just, I guess it could be different for other people, but like you could still be in the same amount of pain. It just looks different. So that day yesterday that I came back from the gym, I just felt like a wall like melting, like a wall that like I'm not even aware of, like melting as I was like driving back home. I just started crying, and I hadn't cried in like days, you know, and not because I wasn't sad, but because like I physically couldn't. And there's complicated reasons why. And that's just what my body was doing, and like what my mind decided to like do for me. So it was interesting that all of a sudden, unprovoked, I was just like working my body so hard, and I just like left, and I was like exhausted a little bit, like driving home. It's like a 15-minute drive from like the crappy gym, and I just cried. And it didn't really feel like a nice release, but also just felt like something melted. So yesterday was the day that I went and I made phone calls. I like leave and like take care of some of my phone calls and like logistics and like have calls with the cemetery. It's something I never wanted to do. Take care of this certain thing, you know, like things that need to be done, but also like things that I need to do for myself. So yesterday I sat in the sun eating my favorite kind of sandwich, my favorite little co-op thing. So I don't remember where I was at because I had changed my battery pack thing. So basically I wanted to tell you that yesterday I was taking care of some of the things that I needed to do, and I like to remove myself from my house and just go for a ride. Because it's so dreary here and it's so isolating. I need to like be around people and like in a quiet space in like my car to like make these things happen. So I just like, I know what I need. And so I went and I sat in the co-op parking lot in the sun making phone calls to a potential grief counselor. I typically don't like therapy, but I knew that this was complicated, and I was gonna try to allow myself to have someone help me, because this is, you know, I don't know what to do with this situation, and so like if I can at least try, I want to give myself that opportunity to try to see if that's helpful. And so like one of the first things I did, like after this all happened, like before I was frozen, I think I asked my friend Michelle, I tasked her with helping me find a potential counselor. And like I said, when like you give people like specific things that like you know would like make sense for you, because like you know what you need, but like you can't do it all by yourself. At least I couldn't. It's like I know what I need, I can communicate what I need, and so like I gave it to somebody else who could make like the difficult stuff, like get a little bit of like the grunt work out of it, like, you know, like but also pick back up and like take ownership of this massive thing that I need to do. So like she got me the names, I went to go see these people, they got me more names, and they helped me like match me with like specific grief counselors, like understanding that I need that for myself, but like knowing that it's too complicated. Like I broke it down into like somebody else can do the majority of what I can't handle logistically right now because it's just hard, but like I can call specific phone numbers like that are already vetted for my insurance, that are already vetted for grief counselor category. Like I didn't want to do the search myself, so like I knew that like I had to make it simple, more simple. Just the same as like I knew that I couldn't find my sister's cat like a loving home that like, you know, it would be safe, but I could trust other people who already know how to deal with that system and to deal with that, to find that for me, and to like do the hard part about like going back into the house and like going to get the cat myself and like bringing the cat to them. Like I took back ownership of part of what I delegated, so it was like a collaborative effort of like I have this problem, but like I'm going to trust that you can help me a little bit here, and like they did. And then like I reclaimed the problem, right? I like did a little bit of something with it. So like yesterday I sat there in the sun eating my sandwich, being like amongst the people, like just being with people that were like in the parking lot or going by in the road. Like to me that like that was more what I needed than like being in the middle of nowhere in like the middle of the woods, like very isolative. Like I just knew that I needed to do that. That's why I decided to like do those things. So it's like can't change my living situation, you know, I can't magically make myself, you know, in a space that I want to be, so let's just adapt to like what I need to. So that was the best I could do. So I made some phone calls and I left some messages, and then I just waited. So before I filmed this, I actually like have an appointment tomorrow for like my first appointment with the grief counselor that I'm gonna try to see if it's a match or not. But like, it's been seriously really helpful to like tell people what I need, to like understand that I have this issue that I can't fully deal with, and before it gets like tremendously out of control, like my grief gets out of control, I'm going to task somebody with like getting it a little bit easier for me, but I'm also going to take back that task. I feel like that was really important for me, because it's like I didn't have them do it all, but like I did have them do the things that I could do. But like before it gets to be like this giant monster of a thing, like I could be in denial that like I need some help with this or something, you know? So that's what I did for myself, and I've just been like, before this happened, like I needed time by myself, and so like luckily I like booked some time to like, you know, go on like a road trip for myself and just like stay at a hotel for a couple of nights. And like I'm gonna do that, and I'm just going to like for a little while pretend that this didn't happen and just be chill by myself. I really love being by myself, like as far as like restoring my own energy. I'm like a very big introvert, and I'm a 41-year-old lady who like is used to living by herself. So before this even happened, it was like very challenging to be an adult living, you know, in the middle of nowhere in a situation that like I didn't really want to be in. So this is just hard. It's hard for everybody, but I want to just talk about like how it's been for me, because like that's what I can talk most about, because like I have the most experience with that. So that's how I like survived it. I don't think that like I'm the most healthy version of whatever, but I don't think you're supposed to be like super healthy, you know, right now. But these are the things that I did, and I want to talk about them because it was interesting to like go through like the frozen thing. And it's interesting to like see at points in time where like my mind thaws out, like after I've like really like worked my body really hard, and like it's unplugged during that time where I'm working out, and then it's just like in relax mode after I'm exhausted, and then like I just melt. The only good thing, I don't even want to say the only good thing, but a good thing, is that like I can look at my memories now. So like I've had an iPhone for a really long time, and you know, I took lots of trips with my sister, and I took lots of like photos of those trips, and like I have lots of shared things on my phone that like I just avoided looking through, you know, for that time period after like our estrangement. And like since this happened, I can finally like look back and like look at them. And so like part of that is like remembering my past, and it's like I don't want to forget, and I never wanted to forget, but it, like certain things were just too painful to like allow into my current brain. So I kept them there. They existed in my camera roll, but like I never looked at them. So now I can kind of piece together certain things from like my memories. But everything is very final. So I just really want to move forward with like there's not a lot of stuff that I know absolutely. I'm okay with things being ambiguous, like I really am. But one of the things that I know I need to do is to like live with purpose and meaning, and to feel alive. and like however I find that. So that's what I'm gonna do, because that's what makes sense to me. So I thank you for watching, and I thank you for listening, and if you can relate in any way, I'm so sorry, truly. I think I share this with you because I share a lot of stuff that I want to be not understood about me, but I just want to like complication is real, and I feel certain domino effects, right? Like you make this choice, you begin to have this paradigm about life, you begin to like have this shift in thought, you begin to like have these types of friends, you begin to have this type of mindset or this type of job or this type, like everything is dominoes. And like I share these things because I want you to like not witness like what I do next, but I want you to like know that like I'm actively choosing light. I want to know what's right for me and to like live that fully. I want to know that like I can be strong for myself and like have my own like kind of like warrior energy for myself. It doesn't have to be given just for other people. Like there's this duality of protecting myself but also being very, 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 very strong for myself, but vulnerable. There's something beautiful and human about that. And I want you to see, because to me that feels real. And this is just what is like makes sense for me. Like I think about all these things. I think about like getting myself help, keeping my body good, like compartmentalizing all these things in little buckets, and like knowing that like my choice will have consequences, good or bad or neutral, but to like be aware of that, not so like I'm like overwhelmed at like not making like bad choices ever, but like knowing that you can, if you get led astray, that it's possible to adapt out of that. I don't know why I'm having a hard time saying goodbye to you today. But I am. Anyways, take care. Be good to yourself. Be good to other people.